Hello, my name is Elijah Jones, and I am working with the Great Lakes Mental Health Technology Transfer Center. Today, we're going to interview Lauren Walters, a social worker in Ohio, about some of the things she does in her role as a social worker. Thank you for being with us, Lauren, and we'll just jump right into the first question. What do you do, and kind of what's the purpose of your role?
Yeah, so I'm a mental health therapist. So my purpose is to help people dealing with different mental health issues to talk through their problems and find different skills to help them manage their problems.
What's a typical workday look like for you, or how do you spend your days typically?
Yeah, so usually I get into the office around 8:30 in the morning, and from there I'll have three individual sessions in the morning. I'll take an hour break for lunch, and then I'll have four more sessions in the afternoon. And sometimes I get to work from home for like part or all of the day. But currently, I'm doing individual sessions and also intakes, which is when people need therapy for the first time and you just get to know them for that first session.
How did you find this career for you? What kind of educational path did you take?
Yeah, so my grandmother is actually a social worker as well when she was in the field. And I visited her at work growing up sometimes, and I thought it sounded really interesting. So I got my bachelor's in sociology from Case Western, and I did their 5 year master in social work program. So normally it takes 6 years to get your master's, so 4 years of your bachelor's and then 2 years of your master's. But some schools have this special program where you can do it all in 5 years. So I'd applied for that my junior year of college and got in. And so I went to Case as well for my master's. So I did that all in 5 years. And then I took my licensure exam to become licensed in social work. And then 2 years after that, I took my an additional licensure exam to become independent. So that means I can work for myself and not need a supervisor. So I got that in this past summer of 23.
So you didn't have to study the same thing for your undergrad as you did for your grad school then.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, Case Western doesn't offer a bachelor in social work, so you weren't really able to get that. So you can do study anything in undergrad, including something totally unrelated, and still get a master's in social work. So I have friends who studied like math in undergrad and worked in a bank for a few years and went back to school and just got their master's. But if you do choose to get a bachelor's in social work, you're able to finish your master's in even less time. It's called being advanced standing.
Okay. Awesome. So what do you really like about your job, or what are kind of the unique perks or draws to working as a mental health therapist?
I just really enjoy helping others, talking through their issues, and being there for support for them. There's a lot of other benefits as well. Like usually we have really good health insurance. A lot of us are like government employees. A lot of times, especially your first years, you work for like a nonprofit, so you get to like meet all different kinds of people. And there's also so many things you can do within it. Like if I get kind of tired of doing therapy, I can go into other kinds of social work practice, like medical social work or case management, if I choose to switch my job.
So it sounds like there's a lot of job opportunities. What do you think the job prospects are for someone just going into the field?
So there's lots and lots of jobs out there, and it's very easy to get a job. So, for example, I had a job months before even graduating my master's program, even before getting licensed. And then when I switched jobs in fall of this past year, I was able to pass my licensure exam and I had a new job within a week. So there's lots of opportunities for this field to get a job. You'll never have trouble getting a job, which is a big perk.
Yeah, so it sounds like as soon as you got your license in social work, you immediately found a role for you.
Yeah, even before I officially got my licensure, they hired me. So yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
What's the typical like salary range or compensation range for your type of role?
So right out of your grad school, so when you're like entry level, my salary was 45,000 a year, and once you get your independent licensure, you have opportunity to make more money. So now I work at an hourly position, which is $45 an hour. And then the more experience you have, and as you eventually can become a supervisor, the more money you can make.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's not only are there lots of job opportunities, but it sounds like there's room to grow with this as well.
Absolutely. As long as you do a good job, they're always open to like promoting just because, they just need so many people. So as long as you like show up and do your work really well, then it's easy to get promoted or to further your career in that way.
Great. Are you aware of any reimbursement or loan forgiveness or repayment programs?
Yeah, so I know that if you choose to do nonprofit for 10 years, you can get your loans forgiven. I chose not to go down that route just because I didn't want to be limited where I could work. However, my current employment is a private practice and they pay $100 a month towards my loans. And that's actually more than I even owe per month based on my plan. So they basically cover it all for me month to month.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I know a lot of places offer that as well.
Oh, okay, great. And I know you probably had to do an internship for your schooling. Were you
Mhm.
able to find like a paid internship or anything?
So the internships itself did not pay me. I do know that there are some out there that do, but my university, Case Western, did give us a stipend of, I believe, 1,000 a semester. And then I was able to do this program where I said I worked with substance use in particular, and they offered a $10,000 stipend. But again, that was through my school program rather than the places that I interned at. However, I do know there are some paid internships out there at private practices.
Okay, okay, great.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything else you'd like to share about what you do as a social worker, working as a mental health therapist, or anything?
Yeah, I mean, so the job I have now is pretty standard, like individual, but at my old job, I was able to do lots of different things. Like I was able to do groups as well. So it was really cool to be able to have kind of break up my day with different types of work. And your first couple of years are very collaborative, and you'll have a supervisor that's meeting with you at least once a week to go over your clients and help you ease into the field. So they don't kind of just like throw you in. And then once you're able to have your independent licensure, you're able to kind of do things on your own more, which is really nice. Once you've had that practice, you don't need to, be micromanaged or anything. So I think that's a good system to have that, 2+ years of supervision than to just allow yourself to work independently.
Lauren, we really appreciate you taking the time and sharing about your role as a mental health therapist. And I was even able to learn some stuff as well. So thank you so much for your insight into the kind of this world as a social worker.
Of course, and thank you for having me.